YouTubers, Mike Martin's here, Mike Martin's channel. I just want to thank the University of Kentucky, Kentucky Wildcats, for sending me this hat. Really appreciate it. I got it in the mail. Thanks for that, everyone that watches my show down there. Anyways, I want to shoot one out for Australia because this is really, really important that people know what's going on, especially you living in Vancouver, that every English-speaking country except South Africa is dealing with this massive problem. And when I say English-speaking, I mean legitimate English-speaking countries, not a country where our official language is English and you go there and everyone speaks some Creole or something. I'm talking about like legit English-speaking countries. They're facing this plague of raising housing prices on the rise. Now, let's see what the Australian government has to say about this. Check this out. The government thinks Australia's crazy house prices are fine. Of course they're fine. You're lining your pockets with your people's money. Of course they're fine. You're putting away a little bit here, a little bit here for the next generation, a little bit here for 3 generations down the road. Of course they're fine. The government's genuine failure to offer a single solution to the housing affordable crisis after spending 20 months compiling a report is complicated and grossly irresponsible. Why doesn't Australia just do... I'll give you an example. What Thailand does. I'm not picking on Thailand. I go to Thailand all the time. I went to Thailand. I wanted to buy a nice apartment there to visit. Can't buy it. I'm a foreigner. Won't touch me. I wanted to open a business and everything, invest some money. Can't. I'm a foreigner. Won't touch me. What if I marry a girl from Thailand? Yeah, but she still owns a majority of the share. You get nothing. Yeah, how's about looking at how other countries treat other people and then maybe implying them in your country, huh? So I'm not picking on Thailand. I'm just saying, like, I inquired to buy a house in Mexico myself. And when I was young, I was going to buy a house for like 16 grand. Like a really nice house, too, in a nice area. Can't. You're a foreigner. Can I open a bank account and then maybe put some money in and then they can see that I can't? You're a foreigner. So... I mean, it's a two-way street. I mean, you're not racist when you do what other countries do. Anyways, let's continue here. This is the interpretation of thought leaders and economists, maddened by the Turnbull government's apparent inability to address the ludicrously bloated property market after a report released in the days before Christmas failed to provide a single solution. Why would they want a solution? This gong show has been going on for a long time. Decent housing in Australia has become notoriously unaffordable for young people, poor people, middle-income people, and older people, and basically anyone who wants to live within the COE of the city, jobs or amenities. A 45-page report from the House of Representatives Standing Committee on Economics did not contain one single recommendation to make the housing more affordable. By making no recommendations, the report in essence say that the housing market is operating fine and housing affordability is not an issue. Why? Because you own your own house. And the younger generations, can I make a plea out there to an Australian that has a heart and soul and owns a reputable, that does not be reputable, owns a company with a lot of employees, tech industry, wherever you're in. Can you find it in your heart to move 4 hours out of a major city and start your own metropolis? I could bet my left nut you'll find so many qualified people. All they want to do is buy a house and lay roots for their family. I challenge some Australian out there that's got the cojones to build a Silicon Valley in Australia. If you could build a Silicon Valley in Australia, not only would I visit it and greet you, but not only you would create a mass amount of frenzy around jobs in another area. And then you could actually make it like other countries have, and then make it harder for people because it's a work sector area. Start zoning. You know what? Start zoning housing. I got an idea for you guys in Australia. One, put the foreign tax that they did in Canada. People are saying, oh, it's not the foreigners. Don't be silly. Okay, put the foreign tax like we did, 15%. We haven't sold a damn house in since August, September. 2, another thing you could do is maybe start zoning homes for a work zone area. So specific homes or specific a district in a part of a city is only for workers in the city. You can't touch it. It can't be touched they have to show contracts that they're working at the company. This way it keeps the city running, so people don't have to leave the city, and then there's no one running the city. Nobody taking care of anything in the city, and nobody taking care of services because they can't afford to live in their own damn city. How about that? What do you think of those ideas? That's coming from a guy that can't read and has no education. Let's keep going here. 45-page report from the housing. Yeah, so the 40 bill, not an issue. Meanwhile, literal burnout shells of homes are selling for more than $1 million in Sydney. So view this image on Twitter. So I'm going to leave a link below to this. A long article. So once you guys will leave it below for you folks to see this, because this is really important, okay? The government members' report is remarkable document in that offers no recommendations to government, wrote the Labour members of the committee in a dissenting report published alongside the main report. Greens MP Adam Bent, who was also on the committee, was more blunt. Young people are getting screwed on housing, he said. God bless Australia. Yeah, young people are getting screwed. What happens when you skip a generation of young folk that don't lay roots? They move. When they move, they make other places better. Do you think people investing in homes are there to make the places better? No, they're there to cash in and cash out. And guess who gets left holding the bag? The people you don't want to move in the homes are the ones that get left holding the bag and have to fit the bill when you have to raise taxes. Or have to print off money and depreciate your country's currency. In 1990, an average house was 6 times a young person's income. By 2013, it had risen to 12 times their annual average pay. Tax concessions for investors have supercharged the housing market by increasing the number of prospective buyers participating in potential new homeowners out. The portion of people who own their own home is particularly amongst the young and is a decline. Now it's the lowest level in 60 years. University of NSW professor Hal Pawson, a housing policy and affordability expert, said that he is baffled by the report. It seems likely very complacent analysis. It doesn't recognize the urgency or seriousness of the situation. But more than that, they're saying it's not our job. They're saying they're not responsible for this. That it might be the problem, that their problem might be not their problem, he said. To me, that's grossly irresponsible. Once again, to put laws into place. Just like, again, I'm not picking on Thailand. I love Thailand a lot. I go there, I spend time there, when I was single and traveling and stuff like that, and having a good time on the floating market and all that stuff. I went to Thailand, okay? Want to open a nightclub? No, you're a foreigner. You can't buy anything here. Can I buy just a 1-bedroom condo, and then when I visit, I have my own place? No, you can't, because you're a foreigner. Okay? Hi, can I work here? No, you can't. You're a foreigner. Okay, so why can't they do it? Why can't people protect their own, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people would say what I'm saying is racist. Like, no, it's other countries do it. Okay? And Thailand's a great country to do a representation of, because it's a country, it's desirable, it's a good place to live, it's a great place to retire. But they're shutting out all the retirees by not able to own property there, right? To me, that's grossly irresponsible. Some people might feel that was insulting to the situation. In July, a shack in Sydney in the inner west deemed particularly uninhabitable sold for $1.9 million. You know what uninhabitable means? It means Robinson Dam Caruso, living on an island by himself, couldn't even live in this crack shack. Contained in the news report discussion of negative gearing, capital gains tax, interest rates for home loans, and general notions of affordability of housing, but no recommendations to trim back the generous tax concessions or make changes to the home loan market. To report Treasury Department claims of broadly stable level and affordability over the past 20 years for housing, despite the Housing Industry Association claiming otherwise, and the National Affordability Consortium pointing out home ownership has been declining across all age groups other than the oldest cohort for over a decade. The report outlined how Treasury claimed the current price cycle is not unusual for more exaggerated than previous, that Sydney houses prices were not showing abnormal trends. I'm going to repeat that. because your ears didn't believe me. Your ears are having a hard time believing what I'm saying. Listen to this again. That Sydney houses were not showing an abnormal trend. Yeah, I said it twice because I didn't believe it when I just read it. That housing affordability does not therefore affect the majority of Australians. What a crock. What a crock of crap. This is where it belongs, right here. Anyways, here's some ideas right off the top of my head. Mr. No education here. Implement the foreign tax like we have here and thing. Implement districts for working zones. Districts. Sir, you want to buy this house here? Yeah, but you have to work in the area. You have to show us a pay stub, a T4, a year-end report for the last 3 years. That keeps jobs within the area so that the cities don't fall apart. Okay? Third, I would maybe implement a vacant home tax. If there's empty homes, people are buying homes to sit on them. Just charge them 7% a year, value of the home, on top of the property tax. Why not? This way, the people, at least the government makes gains, and then people are pressured to unload their properties because they feel that it's not worth paying all these extra convenience charges to own a place and leave it empty. I would remove Airbnb and all that crap where you could rent someone's apartment, especially in the thing, so they can't rent out daily. Just trying to think what else. There's so many avenues you could take. Or you just implement the law. Just do what Thailand does. Do what Mexico does. The same thing. When I was in Mexico, I fell in love with this house. It was beautiful. And it was in the state of Guerrero. And I speak Mexican, by the way, perfectly anyways. And it's a long story. I was there for a good while. And I really wanted to buy a home. With a pool. It was about $17,000 back in the time, right? They wouldn't touch me. They're like, no. I'm like, I'll put it on my credit. I'll pay it off right now. I'll write you a check. I'll go home and bring you cash. I'll even declare it at the border what it's for. When you come to the border with 10,000 or more, I come in with 20,000. They'll be like, what's all right? I'm buying a house. This is the address. But they said, no, you can't. You're a foreigner. Wow. And it was, but Mexican people buy houses in North America. Like, how does it work like this? So, I'm not trying to be racist or anything. Yo no quiero ser racista. Yo no quiero platicar como yo soy racista porque no soy. Me ama la gente mexicana. I love the people from everywhere. It's just, maybe they should start creating a two-way street to make it fair.